Right. Well, here we are, the afternoon of our one-day event at the Seattle Film Summit 2021, and we've got two lovely guests with us this afternoon. Epatha Merkerson, an actor and filmmaker, currently on Chicago Med, and Yolonda Ross, also an actor and filmmaker, and she's been busy on The Chi on Showtime. By way of Chicago, by way of New York, and here you are in Seattle. So welcome, first and foremost. What brought you both to the Film Summit?
Well, we did a short film in July that was co-produced by Holly Shorts and the Seattle Film Summit. And in the process of it, Ben Andrews and Yolanda and I just really got into a conversation about what he was doing here. And we wanted to come and be a part of it and see what he was doing, because I was totally impressed with the filming here. It wasn't far from here where we shot.
No, maybe about an hour. I think we went out.
Yeah, about an hour and a half drive from here where we shot. But that's how we ended up back here in Seattle for the summit.
Lots of variety geographically within 1 hour of Seattle, but
Yeah.
most all completely beautiful, right? We were
Totally.
talking about the opening ceremony today. You got it all.
Yeah.
Got the water, you've got the mountains, you got the ocean. Now, have you guys been out to Seattle before you came to shoot that, or?
Yeah, I actually had a place in Ballard for a couple of years.
Nearby?
Unfortunately, sold. I had to sell it this year. Cute little place. But so I know a little bit about the area, but not much. 2 years and going back and forth, you really can't learn much about it. But it's a beautiful, beautiful
It is.
Seattle,
What's
the area.
what's your experience been? 'Cause, the opening ceremonies, the theme was a call to action to make Seattle a hub for filmmaking, to have people come here instead of being the on-location shoot, but the place where it's based out of. What was your experience in Seattle, and do you see that potential from the time here?
Well, I mean, I do see the potential in that, because that's another reason why I'm here, because I am looking to make a feature, and I was talking to Ben about shooting here, because I'd only been here one other time, just to Amazon's, just to Amazon. So I really didn't see, the rest of the city or places outside of the city. And it really does geographically have everything. But also, it's like, people that were speaking earlier were talking about all the different companies that are here, and space, and there's so much potential to do things here of all sorts, because you guys have another studio that's going up, or that's, I guess, you're adding to it, a stage.
Sound studio, that King County put together a large, warehouse space that was and used on a couple of shows. Amy Poehler's recent project.
Right.
And then, there was, I think, COVID shut down and some renovations. So, we're going to try to get a tour of that facility, because that's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And other smaller municipalities, I think, like Shoreline was represented.
Yep.
The mayors would like to do, put a soundstage everywhere.
And listen, both of us are working in Chicago, and Chicago was not a hub for filmmaking.
Yeah.
And it has become
But
that.
now?
Yeah, it's when you said Chicago, now you guys are filming on location in Chicago.
Oh,
for these
absolutely.
Chicago-based shows.
Yeah,
Okay.
So many.
Yeah.
Wow.
And at the studio where we are, it was a steel mill back in the day, and it's been transformed into 30.
There's got to be 9 shows there right now.
Wow.
And I think there may be anywhere from 27 to 30 studios.
Oh yeah, within there.
Within the CineSpace. So that Chicago could do that. They're doing it in Atlanta.
Right.
Atlanta's really
You've
growing.
We've always had Hollywood and New York.
Yeah.
Coming, we were sending things to Vancouver when we could be doing them right here.
Yeah, true. And Portland, too. Kind of our sister city, Portland, and they offer a lot of incentives in Oregon. I know that we're kind of working on up here in the state of Washington. But
Well, that was one of the things that was talked about this morning, that you guys are so close to Vancouver and then Hollywood. It's like getting the incentives so that people will come here to shoot.
Right.
Because everything is here.
I'll just aim that your way just a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, so I mean, you have everything here. Get the studio up and running, and have I don't see why there wouldn't be.
It always confused me why there's so many things, and whether Hallmark Christmas movies that are set in Seattle, or
You gotta have some clouds and rain.
So
They're shot in Toronto or
yeah,
Vancouver.
or Debbie Maycomer movies that are based on her books, and she lives in Port Orchard, where we're based out of. But all the and the settings are named after the towns by us, but they don't even look like it. And you could come in and film it here.
Yeah.
And it would look authentic, and it would. I don't know. I think it would make the stories a little more realistic, because you can tell when these things are not.
Well, it's like saying you're going to shoot in New York, and you're going to be on the streets of New York, and I will look at it, and I know damn well you're not on the streets of New York. You know, and listen, this is an amazing place to shoot in that you do have the various places. You've got the mountains. You've got the city. There's so many areas in the city and the surrounding area that's perfect.
Yeah.
And the weather. I mean, you can bitch about the rain, but you certainly have great summers here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, where we shot was that
It's beautiful.
I can't remember the name of the lake, but it was a beautiful place to shoot.
Got a lot of those too.
You know,
Yeah,
so-
a lot of
lakes, forest, rainforest. You go over the
deserts,
mountains, there's
yeah.
desert.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
So hopefully, what Ben is doing here with the Seattle Film Summit, hopefully, and with the involvement of their government all over, because today we met people from all over this area who are very interested in bringing film here. So, I look forward to it really happening.
We'll
I
get you
do
guys
too.
out here. You get on some series set in Seattle.
There you go.
So
some series
let's talk about your series now. Epatha, you're on Chicago Med. We recently interviewed Greg Barbanel, who is actively the Foley artist on Chicago Med. So
Love
it was a lot of fun. Really great guy to know behind the scenes. What role do you play?
I play Sharon Goodwin,
Okay.
who's the administrator of the hospital, Gaffney Medical Hospital. And
So you're running the whole hospital where all the drama takes
pretty
place.
much the ED is where she reigns, because her focus is patient care.
Okay.
So, we get an opportunity to talk about a lot of things that are happening now with our healthcare system and our first responders, because the 3 shows revolve around first responders: fire, PD, and med.
Right, sure. And Yolanda, how about you on The Shy on Showtime?
Yeah, and The Shy is almost ripped from today's headlines in a way, right? It's police
is.
brutality and
Yep.
young folks
Current
trying
events.
to. Yeah, so can you tell us about your role in that? And
I play Jada Washington on the show, and she is in the caregiving industry. She was a caregiver to an elderly woman, but now she's in. She works for a place that's sort of like a Planned Parenthood kind of place. This season, she was dealing with cancer, so that's what her journey was this last season.
okay, so you're on a cable network. You're on a network. There's got to be a difference in how productions are made. Some more limitations maybe on the network side than
There's more limitation in what you can say. There's tons of freedom, when you're on cable. But, the language has to be very specific. You can't speak the way I sometimes speak. Let's put it
You
that
or
way.
your character?
Or Epatha. We're talking about Epatha
Yeah.
now. But yeah, those are the restrictions. There, I can't even think of the censors that there's a specific name for it now, but it won't come to
Oh, the
me.
FCC?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that they look at the scripts.
Yes, yeah.
They follow every part of the action, what the characters are involved in, and they have to okay a script before we can start filming it.
similar
So-
to the Hays Code in the films.
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
back
Back-
in the day.
yeah.
The censors, yeah.
Yeah.
So what projects do you guys have in the hopper right now? You said you're also filmmakers privately. Do you guys have anything that you're currently working on?
Well, I'm in the process now of getting the rights to a story, a book.
Oh, excellent.
And so we'll see what happens with that. We're sort of like in the middle of negotiating now.
With the author or with their estate?
With her agents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so we'll see what happens, but that's what I'm working on now,
Excellent.
to get a little indie film made of it.
Great. And how about you, Yolanda?
I have a film called Scenes from Our Marriage that's gone through Film Independence, Directors Lab, and their fast track. And I'm here to, see about financing, talk to people about
Great.
money, and
Always the elephant in the room.
Okay, that big old elephant just hanging out. And also the Seattle, Seattle Filmworks.
I believe so. Yes. Yeah.
I've been talking to them about different things so that locations like I know who's here, as far as crew and those kinds of things, so that I can be prepared, because I really do want to shoot this here when we wrap the next season of our show.
Great. Well, let us know. We'd love to have you back on. One more question. We see a lot of booze out there specifically aimed at the youth. As women of color in the
I thought
industry.
you said booze.
I did too.
Booze.
That's
Oh,
why I was like,
booze.
That's why
I
I
thought you
that's
said
later.
booze. And
That's
I
later.
was
was like, aimed at
we're
the
gonna
youth.
talk
I was like,
about
where's this going?
Enunciate.
kids who are
That's going to cause a problem.
All right, this is for the gag reel. This is a lot of booths, B-O-T-H-S, booths out there aimed at our youths. Y-O-O-T-H-S. What advice do you have? You guys have both been in the industry for some years now. You're established actresses. What advice do you have for youth, especially youth of color who are looking at this industry, possibly as something that is intimidating to become part of? What words of wisdom do you have for them?
Well, for actors, I would, especially young people, I'd say read.
Yeah.
Read everything you can, because it's literally the last vestige of imagination that we have. Everything else you can pretty much go to the internet and find.
see visually, yeah.
But reading allows you to visualize. That allows you to tell
Right.
stories.
Right.
And so I think that's important for kids. And also, it's important that if you want to do this, you have to study it. So do also, while you're reading, look at films. Try to find a way to criticize and to see what you like and what you don't like. I think it's good to journal. But I especially think if this is something you want to do, you have to educate yourself in it, because that will allow you to participate.
Knowledge is power.
Indeed.
Yeah, and as a former librarian, I got to admit, I got to agree with all that reading. It's it's the only world you're going to create for yourself.
Yeah.
Based on simply what you're reading on the page. So,
Exactly.
How about you, Yolanda? Any words of wisdom from your career?
Well, what Epatha said about the reading, I never thought of it in that way, but that's how I think of things. It's like actually music as well, to visualize. It just which makes stories happen. The one thing I will say, if acting is not your internal calling, if you feel you are seeing somebody and I can do that and but it's not something that's burning, where whether you're making money or not, you are creating and putting something out there for the world that needs to be put out there. Make sure you look at all the jobs, understand all the jobs in the film industry, because we don't need 1 million people in front of the camera,
Right.
Because it's a hard job. It's a hard job to get, and it's all the people behind the camera, all the people moving forward to get the product out.
Absolutely.
That are making good livings and enjoying the and
And if you
producing
watch,
helping us
art.
if you
get
watch
them
the
out
credits to a
Yeah.
film, the cast is the
Yeah,
first
they
couple,
need like
yeah.
6 people
and
there.
then it's the gaffers and the best boys. And the,
Yeah,
You
And
know,
the
so we
Foley
might
guy.
put them
coffee.
like 3 ply across the screen.
Yeah.
It's like all these people that did
Yeah.
all these jobs.
Yeah.
And and it goes all the way to craft service and
Yep.
the people
Yep,
that
yep.
provide the food on the set.
Transportation, and things like
Absolutely.
yeah.
I always
Everything.
admire that it's on a lot of films you see caffeination, right? The people I guess that supply the coffee, right?
I just thanked our gal out here who was providing the coffee. I was like,
Yeah,
you're
see?
keeping
Thank
it
you
keeping
for
it
your
warm and keeping it
caffeination.
flowing.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we
That's
need. This is
hilarious.
Seattle after all.
Right.
Well, Epatha Merkerson and Yolonda Ross, thank you for joining us. It's been a real pleasure to meet you both. Tune into Chicago Med on NBC and The Chi on Showtime, and see these talented ladies in action.
Yep,
So,
definitely.
and
Thank
hopefully
you.
you're going to make the party later.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
Yes.
good. Well, we'll be out there and we can socialize. A
And
little
there will
more.
be
Libations.
booze.
There will be booze.
party.
There will be booths
Booth booze.
with booze.
That's
There
right.
you go.
See, I need a couple professional actors to fix my diction here.
Thank you.
Thank you
guys.
both.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.